Get ready for the biggest showdown of the season. We are diving straight into the San Antonio Spurs versus the Oklahoma City Thunder series preview. We're talking about the intense battle between Victor Wembanyama and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, two of the top 3 MVP contenders. And this is the first playoff meeting between these two powerhouse teams that will define the next 5 years of the NBA. We break down everything you need to know about this epic clash, from the matchups to the key players who will make or break this series. Preview for the San Antonio Spurs versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. We break down the matchup dynamics, the key defensive strategies the Thunder will employ against Victor Wembanyama, and what the Spurs need to do to steal a crucial road victory. Don't miss a second of this action, because the rivalry is heating up and the stakes have never been higher. The highly anticipated San Antonio Spurs versus Oklahoma City Thunder playoff series is set to ignite a major rivalry, marking the first playoff meeting between two teams considered among the elite in the NBA. At the heart of the matchup is the dynamic clash between Victor Wembanyama and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, both top contenders in the MVP race. This series promises to define the next 5 years of the NBA. The series schedule spans 7 games, commencing on Monday, May 18th, with San Antonio hosting Game 1 at Oklahoma City. The contest features intense scrutiny, with Spurs' Stephon Castle suggesting the matchup is favorable, noting they are in each other's way of reaching the finals. Victor Wembanyama has demonstrated significant playoff resilience, showing dominance in recent games and notably eliminating Rudy Gobert in a previous series. His postseason statistics are impressive, averaging 20.3 points, 10.7 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 4.1 blocks, and 1.4 three-pointers per game, suggesting he is poised to kick off the Wemby era. However, the matchup against Oklahoma City's frontcourt, particularly Chet Holmgren, presents a significant challenge. The key to San Antonio's success will hinge on Wembanyama's ability to neutralize Holmgren, potentially by playing back inside and disrupting Thunder drives. Conversely, the Thunder possess diverse offensive options, including Ajay Mitchell as a playmaker and Holmgren in the paint, which proved too much for the Lakers. The Spurs bring a different advantage: superior defensive guards in Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, and De'Aaron Fox, complemented by Wembanyama's presence patrolling the perimeter. The Spurs are expected to adopt a measured approach against Gilgeous-Alexander, learning from past playoff experiences. A crucial factor for the Thunder is the availability of Jalen Williams, who is set to play for Oklahoma City against the Spurs. Williams offers the Spurs another high-level shot creator and physical defender to challenge. While the Spurs are positioned as the heavy favorite due to their defensive maturity and unique structure, the Thunder's experience and depth in shot creation make them a legitimate threat to win in a grueling 7-game series. The tipping point is expected to come from Oklahoma City securing home court advantage and generating enough turnovers to fuel their offense against Wembanyama's half-court game. This series is poised to be a classic, pitting the Spurs' defense and maturity against the Thunder's experience and offensive versatility. Victor Wembanyama secured a third-place finish in the league's most valuable player voting, according to totals announced Sunday. The award went to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder, marking his second consecutive MVP season. SGA's win was attributed to his strong team performance, best record, and second-place finish in league scoring. Wembanyama, the San Antonio Spurs superstar center, received 569 points and placed third in the MVP voting behind SGA and Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. His voting breakdown included 5 first-place votes, 36 second-place votes, 47 third-place votes, 10 fourth-place votes, and 2 fifth-place votes, placing him in a close second behind Jokic. This season proved to be a breakout year for Wembanyama, who helped guide the Spurs to the second-best record in the NBA Western Conference, just 2 games behind the Thunder. The Spurs also reached the NBA Cup final for the first time, ultimately falling to the New York Knicks, and are now set to face the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. Wembanyama's elite play has been a major factor in the Spurs' success, establishing him as one of the most dominant big men in basketball history. Despite being in his 3rd NBA season, analysts suggest he has significant potential to become an MVP for years to come and could be considered one of all-time greats. Beyond the MVP voting, Wembanyama also claimed the Defensive Player of the Year award, winning it unanimously, a first in league history for that honor. The Frenchman had an outstanding regular season and has performed well in the postseason when healthy. For the Spurs to contend for the NBA Finals against the Thunder, Wembanyama is seen as crucial, with his performance in the upcoming series being key to their potential upset. Anthony Edwards faced criticism after taking action during the final moments of the Minnesota Timberwolves season, which ended in a 139-109 loss to the San Antonio Spurs in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. With 8 minutes remaining in regulation and the team trailing by 33 points, Edwards left the Timberwolves bench to visit the Spurs bench, offering congratulations to the opposing team's players and coaches. This move drew significant backlash from various NBA analysts and figures. Edwards justified his action by stating, "I just tip my hat to them, they're just a better team. At that point, you know you ain't going back in. You're just trying to give them the respect they deserve." However, some critics felt it undermined leadership by acknowledging the game was not yet over. NBA analysts Dirk Nowitzki, Blake Griffin, and Udonis Haslem voiced their disapproval. Haslem emphasized the importance of maintaining composure, stating he would not have shown weakness by approaching the opposing team while the game was still in play. Nowitzki described the action as unprecedented, noting that showing respect is appropriate after the game, not mid-game. Griffin agreed, suggesting that showing respect should be reserved for the conclusion of the contest. The Timberwolves' season concluded early, and Edwards has since focused on his health and preparation for the upcoming season, dismissing questions about the roster's viability for future playoff contention. A new, high-stakes rivalry is set to ignite in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals as the San Antonio Spurs face the Oklahoma City Thunder. This matchup is arguably one of the most anticipated contests in recent playoff history, following their intense regular season clash. For the Spurs, this marks their first time starting a series on the road, having split their games in Oklahoma City this season. While the Spurs held a 4-1 advantage over the Thunder in the regular season, the current playoff picture is dramatically different. The Thunder enter the series undefeated, while the Spurs have demonstrated a significant elevation in performance since February. San Antonio enters the series with a strong road record in the postseason, going 4-1. Overcoming the Thunder in OKC will be a monumental achievement, signaling a serious contender status for the Spurs in the series. However, San Antonio is dealing with key injuries, including De'Aaron Fox, who is questionable with an ankle, and Luke Kornet, who is questionable with a foot. On the Thunder side, their offense is built on suffocating defense. Oklahoma City has been exceptional at forcing turnovers, registering 16.7 turnovers in the regular season, and excelling at physical play at the point of attack to generate steals. OKC will prioritize creating transition opportunities to exploit any lapses in San Antonio's defense. Against the Spurs' dominant interior presence, Victor Wembanyama, scoring in the half-court, will present a significant challenge for OKC. Conversely, the Spurs face potential vulnerability to turnovers, particularly when facing intense perimeter physicality. Stephon Castle and Wembanyama can sometimes overcommit with the ball under pressure, leading to lost possessions. Maintaining ball security will be crucial for San Antonio to navigate this series. The blueprint for success for San Antonio, established in the regular season, involved limiting easy interior looks and forcing opponents into difficult perimeter shots. If players like Alex Caruso or Lou Dort can hit contested three-pointers, it significantly complicates the Thunder's defensive scheme. Alternatively, San Antonio must be efficient from beyond the arc to keep OKC honest. The Thunder will naturally focus heavy defensive attention on Wembanyama in the half-court set, with players like Julian Champagny and Devin Vassell offering necessary offensive relief if shots fall. Beyond the immediate contest, the series carries a personal dimension. There is an underlying dynamic between Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, with Wembanyama reportedly seeking to dominate Holmgren on the court. This high-stakes competition represents the most significant matchup Wembanyama has faced Holmgren since FIBA play, and the manifestation of this internal dynamic will undoubtedly shape the narrative of the series.